Good morning, it's Yvonne here to do your What's Cracking reading. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Still very happy to be on this path, still enjoying the journey. I have been so busy. Thank you so much for keeping me so busy, for all you have requested personal readings from me. Thank you. I have been able to support myself for a year now just doing this work, so it's pretty awesome. Spirit has been incredibly supportive and had my back, so that's the first thing I want to say. Secondly, I now have an intermediate class going forward on the 18th of September, which is a Saturday morning in Australia from 9 till 12 Australian Eastern Standard Time. If you are interested in that class, please let me know and register because I've already had a few registrations, so I figure this one might be quite busy. I will put on another one though, because I know that somebody else said that they weren't able to make that date, so I'm most or more than likely going to need two classes. This is intermediate. It's not for a beginner. You'll be doing a lot of reading for each other, a lot of trusting your own intuition. And the reason I do it this way is exactly for that reason. So if you don't feel comfortable doing that, or you don't think you're ready, then I would wait for a beginner's class. We do a little bit of that at the end of the beginner's class, which sort of helps people out, but by that time you feel quite comfortable in reading the cards. Okay. I am live today on YouTube from 12 o'clock to roughly 1, maybe 1:30, depending on how busy it is. You can find me 12 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time. So wherever you are in the world, you might just want to Google world clock and just check the timing. Sometimes the bell doesn't go off, so I would suggest you follow it up for yourself. You can't rely on the bell apparently. Sometimes it goes off, sometimes it doesn't. What else do I have to talk to you about? I think that's it for the moment. All right, we're going to use the Albino Rider-Waite Tarot for your reading today. And we'll see where we're going with this reading. All right. I feel good. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with me this morning. I want to say a frog in my throat, but I don't think it is. I think I slept a little better last night. All right, Star card coming straight out. So we know when the Star card comes out, it's sort of saying you're on the right path here. You know, you're going in the direction you need to be going in, because you're sort of aligned with what is destined for you here. Sometimes the Star can talk about going through some sort of healing, but it definitely talks about having faith and having trust that, you know, things are being provided on your pathway. For me, whenever I see this star, I think, you know, a lot of you probably have been through a healing phase, and maybe it's sort of time where you're easing back on what you've been doing in terms of healing and just sort of go with the flow. I always call that integration, because I think that, you know, sometimes we can do a lot of healing, but we don't allow ourselves to really take it in. And that's really important too. So even though you're doing healing stuff, remember that your body and your mind still need to have breaks in between, and you need to allow for the stuff you've learned to really be understood. So I feel this is where a lot of you are on this sort of, in this star energy. It's like, you know, things are destined. You've probably got very much in the energy of living in the moment. You're understanding that whatever is on your path is there for you. It doesn't go anywhere. The universe does not hold that back from you. And it's there. I feel sometimes people sort of talk about missed opportunities, and I look at missed opportunities and I think, if I missed an opportunity, then that was meant for me. I don't get all bent out of shape about that, because I figure if it was meant for me, I would have got it. So I don't believe in missed opportunities. If it's there and it's meant for you, it will be on your path. So the Star card talks about, you know, have faith and trust that the universe is providing, even if you can't always see it straight away. I know that too, because sometimes people will say, you know, I want to know if somebody's coming back. And I say, well, okay, then how long since they left? Oh, well, 2 weeks. well, perhaps that's not enough time for somebody to make a decision on whether they want to be with you or not. 2 to 3 weeks isn't much time in terms of even human time, let alone spirit time. But you can't really estimate the time of healing or the time it's going to take you to heal from something. Even if you do something physical, you don't know if, the cut in your hand's going to take 2 days to heal or a week to heal. So be kind to yourself, give yourself time and allow things to unravel the way they should. The Knight of Wands is a card that talks about passion, it talks about drive. It's very quick action, it's like aiming for something very, very quickly here. And we have the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so I can see what's going on here. You are aligning with something here in your destiny. You're bringing yourself into alignment with something. I feel that whatever this is, you've healed something because you're coming out a lot more sort of, I want to say aligned with your passion, but it's more like determination. It's like you've healed something and now you feel really determined. Maybe you feel really good, you feel bolstered, you feel positive about yourself here because you're attacking everything with a little bit more energy than what you were before. What I see with the Six of Pentacles is you co-creating with the universe. So it's like you've brought yourself in alignment and now you know what you want to manifest is coming your way. This is really interesting energy here because I'm getting sort of a lot of other sort of energy like forward movement after a period of pause. I'm getting this energy of like starting something up. So I feel like perhaps for some of you, you've had some sort of maybe epiphany or some sort of wake up while you've been doing your healing that's sort of taken you in a slightly different sort of direction on the way you see things. It's very similar to sort of Hanged Man energy here. It's sort of like you've seen something in a different way and it's like you've diverted your journey a little bit. So maybe you've let go of some sort of control and you're allowing the universe to trust. Maybe something showed you that's what you needed to do. But something here is saying to me that you're bringing yourself in alignment with something here. Okay, so we have the Queen of Pentacles coming out. Now, I definitely feel this is your energy today. Because your energy to me is something that I want to say you've adjusted something. So whoever I'm speaking to, you've adjusted your direction. What I'm seeing is, when you're on a ship and they know that they're going into a storm and they may sort of adjust the way that the rudder goes or the way the ship goes just to make sure they don't get into the storm. That's the sort of energy I'm getting through here. It's like you've just adjusted your sails a little bit. And I feel like you're feeling very grounded and very ready for whatever's coming your way because you have great change. And look, here you're really manifesting. So it's sort of like understanding perhaps at this point in time, maybe you didn't think you had what you needed to do your journey. Maybe you didn't think that you were faithful enough or loyal enough or trusting enough to spirit. So I feel like something has changed here within your psyche and you're starting to understand that you actually have everything you need to create what you want. But maybe you couldn't see this before because maybe you'd lost your passion, maybe you've got a little stuck, maybe you've been ungrounded, maybe other people have been seeing something in you that you haven't been seeing in yourself, but maybe ultimately you started to see yourself in a very different light with that Queen of Pentacles. It's sort of like you're seeing yourself as perhaps a little bit more powerful than what you did before. So maybe some of you are stepping into your own power and understanding your potential. Whoa, look at this. All right. So maybe many of you are starting to understand your intuition because we sort of go through life really stuck in the ego energy. So we think everything out. We don't feel. And I talk about this a lot because I can tell when you're a thinker, not a feeler. It's in the way you talk. If you study NLP or neuralistic programming, you will understand what I'm talking about. The way we express ourselves is based in the way we think or our ideas. So if you listen to somebody talking, and it's part of that NLP, is to really understand that the way people talk shows the type of way they process information. So if you've got someone who says, I see a lot, for example, I see what you're saying, I see where you're going, that means they're very visual, right? So if you get someone who says, I think a lot, they may do more thinking than feeling. If you hear someone saying they feel a lot, they may do more feeling than thinking. So it's really interesting. So if you say to somebody, how does that make you feel? And they go straight to their thoughts, then you know that you're not thinking with your feelings. And it's a little strange when you first start changing that over. Now, my thinking is, and this is thinking, that somehow in childhood, rather than feel your feelings because they hurt you, you tend to sort of divert that feeling into your mind to analyze everything. So instead of sort of getting back in that feeling, you think about it, and then you come from the point of thinking. Our feelings are very much in our body. So as logical thinkers, it doesn't hurt as much if we think about it rather than feel it. Well, we think it doesn't. We do feel it differently though. So, you know, if you've had a breakup with somebody, which is a really good example, or you've lost somebody or a pet or whatever, if you've had a great sense of loss, you will know that the feeling you get is like you have a hole in the pit of your stomach, a hole that you can't seem to fill. That is your feeling. But as I said, a lot of people go into their heads because it seems more practical to go into your head and say, well, okay, I feel this way, but maybe if I sort of do this and keep myself occupied, read a book, watch a movie or whatever, and don't feel the feelings, then it will be more comfortable for me. The feelings don't really go anywhere. They just sit in your body and then they accumulate. So, you know, one day something really simple happens and the next thing you're breaking down like a I don't know, big baby, you know, in a big puddle of tears, wondering why this simple thing like you couldn't get the lid off the Vegemite jar and you're just in a puddle of tears and you think, where did all that come from? And that's all the accumulated emotion that you have. So I feel like it's a really good idea every now and again to go and watch a sad movie, or to you know, sit and feel your feelings, feel where you are on your journey and allow those feelings to flow. This was, for me, a big problem for many years, and I would, you know, look back and think, I don't even remember the last time I cried or the last time I experienced emotion, because you do find it much safer to be in your head analysing rather than feeling. So, you know, it's something that I'm very, very comfortable with nowadays. I've gone on a very long journey with that. So if you need any help with that, I'm more than happy to help you. You can always drop me an email. The High Priestess is a card that talks of intuition. It does talk about the feelings. It talks about things hidden from view. And sometimes, like the moon, it sort of has somewhat a similar feeling to the moon, but in other ways it's very different. The moon definitely talks about hidden emotion and things concealed from view. The High Priestess is more about holding back and not seeing the real results of what's going on, or waiting for outcomes rather than predicting them, or understanding not everything is going to be shown to you at this point in time because maybe you're not ready for it. She talks about those deeper senses, like your gut feelings, your insight, your feelings when you meet people and you think, this person doesn't feel right to me, or you feel that this person doesn't feel right to you. So those are all the things that are hidden in the High Priestess. So I feel like some of you may be on the journey of this at the moment. It'll be interesting to see how this one pans out. It's a very, very deep reading today. All right, we have the Emperor. Wow, and then we have the Hermit. Yeah, I thought it might be a deep feeling one. Look at this. And then the Devil card. This is really very interesting energy coming through here. This is just what I've been talking about. Okay, so I feel like some of you are trying to work out the source of your power here. Maybe you have gone into that hermit mode. Maybe you have been looking a lot deeper. You could always be keeping an eye on someone else or checking up on someone else, but I don't feel like that here. I feel like somehow or another you're trying to understand how powerful you are, where your power comes from. Maybe some of you have manifested something just recently. Maybe some of you have got some sort of, wish fulfillment. And you're now trying to understand, where did that come from? How did I do that? Because we do that sometimes. We think about something that we want or we see, and all of a sudden it's on our doorstep, and you sort of like, how did I do that? How did I manifest that? And maybe you're not sure of what it's possible for you to manifest. Because I sort of have the spirituality and the ego sitting on both sides of those. So for me, the High Priestess represents everything spiritual, whereas the devil energy represents for me everything human, everything ego. So there's sort of this energy here that you're trying to work out here, perhaps how to understand either the difference between your ego and your spirituality, or trying to understand this power that we all talk about, or being able to stand in your power, being able to stand in your truth, being true to who you are. Those sort of energies coming through for me here. So there's sort of this energy here of you healing some part of you that's either made it hard to access this about yourself, or you're still trying somehow to understand the differences in both of these energies. All right, so we have the Five of Swords coming through with the Knight of Pentacles. Oh, wow, okay. I feel like you're in the process of manifesting something, but you're not really understanding that you're doing it yet. You are yet to see the result of your manifestation. Now I see where Spirit is going with me. People do it often. Somebody wrote to me the other day and said, I had this dream. Will that manifest for me? Others of you, I've heard you say before, I've thought about something and then it's appeared. So maybe you've done something like this where you are wondering if something has happened that you've manifested. Sometimes this can happen when you sort of have a memory of someone or think of someone, and then, before you know it, this person's calling you or turning up on your doorstep. Or you go shopping and you inadvertently bump into someone that you were thinking about that you haven't seen for years. Is that manifestation? Because there's no such thing as coincidence, right? No such thing as coincidence. All right, so we have the Lovers card coming through. The Two of Wands. Oh, don't you love this? You can't make this up, folks. You can't make this up. Okay. When I said to you in the beginning, I feel like you've sort of altered your sails or moved your boat in a different direction. It's very, very clear here. Very clear. Because you're starting to understand your truth or your power here with the Ace of Swords. You have clarity. You have an idea of where you're going. You can feel it in your bones and you're heading in that direction. There's a very strong feeling here that for some of you, you may be heading in a different direction in regards to love or relationship here. Maybe you've started to understand something about the direction you want to go in. Maybe you're understanding you have more power in a situation than you thought you did. Because some of you are sort of picking up arms here, taking up arms, whatever they call it, and you're going after what you want. Now this could be a person. It could be in regards to a job opportunity. It could be, it's something you want to bring into your life here. And you are starting to understand that you can bring this thing to you rather than to either pine after it or feel regretful because you haven't made this happen for you. Because you really are stepping into this energy of taking some new direction, but I don't feel the directions as in walking down a different path. This is in a direction for me that makes me feel like you have understood something at a much deeper level. You've understood yourself, you've sat back into your power, and you have realized that it's actually possible for you to manifest the very thing that you desire. There's sort of this energy here of, as I said at the beginning, it's like you're testing something. You're testing something to see if you can do this, or you're testing out something because you've been shown something. I really feel like for some of you here, you're testing something. There's an energy of you turning your back on something, turning your back on an idea, a way of thinking, a limitation. You're definitely turning your back on something. And somehow it's opening you up to possibilities. And I see the possibilities here. So when I see the Devil and I see the Lover's card, I see this flip. I see this energy flip. So it's like you've discovered that something you've been doing a certain way hasn't been working. Maybe you've let go of the timing. Maybe you've understood that you can't force things. Maybe you've let go of control, but you've flipped something around here. And in doing that, you understand in a very different way how to manifest. Now, for some of you, you may be sort of investing in something else to take your mind off something, to understand that thinking about something all the time is not good for you either. Thinking can stall your progress because it takes up so much of your energy, overthinking, that if you're constantly in your mind thinking, then you are not able to fill your mind up with other things. But when you're overthinking, then the time seems to be going slower too. So maybe you're understanding some sort of time here, some sort of timing. And I know I said all that at the beginning, but it's really coming together here. So something is coming on its way to you, as I feel here. Something is moving towards you to show that you are able to manifest, that your manifestation has worked. Something's going to bring you a lot of clarity here for you to see exactly what is manifesting. Let's have a look and see where we're up to. Okay, so I feel like you may have healed something. I feel like you may have made some sort of inroad here with your healing. Somehow or another, maybe you've decided something around your passion, your curiosity. Maybe you're starting to understand something you've been doing and you're letting go of that. I feel like you're understanding what co-creating with the universe means, because you're sort of looking at that pentacle. Is this you trying to manifest something particular into your life, but you're in a much more grounded state here. You're much more in tune with who you are. There is something that has changed in order to bring around this beautiful energy. Look at this. I didn't even look at this before. So perhaps for some of you, this is about manifesting something that looks like love to me into your life. But for others of you, this cup could represent some sort of opportunity in the creative arts. I always think of that. So maybe you're trying to create an opportunity in acting, music, book writing, articles, a new business, something that's going to really make you feel here this level of joy and love. It's very peaceful energy. But for some of you, this may be a relationship. But maybe you've been doing it a certain way for so long and not wondering why it wasn't working for you. Maybe you're starting to understand that to manifest, you've got to be out of your head and in your feelings. It's got to make you feel good. You've got to be able to feel that. So you can't sort of manifest if you don't know what it feels like to have that particular thing. And if you're feeling it and you're trying to manifest, the feeling you get in your stomach, ask yourself when you go into your feelings, how does that make me feel? Does it make my stomach feel all flippy and joyous? Does it bring tears to me? Does it make me feel so excited and so happy that my body just shudders? Ask yourself. I can't really put another card on that. I don't know what I'm shuffling for, because quite honestly that's pretty straightforward reading with that Ace of Swords there. So let's just pull an oracle card. I'm really drawn to the moonstone here. So if you're a crystal person, my moonstone is really calling me today. Okay, this is really interesting because we have the card of why. And we all know spirit moves in mysterious ways. Why? Motives, driving intention, and the power of knowing the why. Maybe that's where you're fixated on the why and you can't question spirit. There is great power in understanding your motives right now. The oracle asks you to be very clear about why you're asking this question, looking for this answer, behaving in this way, and most important, making this choice. Knowing your why is the key to fulfillment. When you are clear about it, your intention will then be a magnet for miracles. Motives define the nature of your experience. When you think about something, feel it and then act on it. Oh my goodness. I am so humbled by this experience. I just want to say thank you, Spirit, because sometimes when you confirm things for me, I understand what I'm doing when I'm doing these readings. Motives define the nature of your experience. When you think about something, feel it and then act on it. The invisible why is the life force energy within the seed which brings it to life and holds the potential for growth. Isn't that interesting? I will leave you with that. Amazing reading. Thank you.